is obvious that most things Prince Harry would do comes to light in a news story, and even more so now that the rebel prince moved out and has been doing things his own way. But how about the things he was doing behind the family's back? Here are the top 10 secrets Prince Harry kept from the royal family. Starting off with number 10, Megxit. The couple negotiated their exit as senior working members of the royal family. It was an unprecedented move that sent shockwaves through the UK. The late queen admitted that the family would have preferred them to remain full-time working members of the royal family, but still respect and understand their wish to live a more independent life as a family. The move was dubbed Megxit. The use of Meghan's name, rather than a collective term for the two of them, was interpreted by some as Meghan being the instigator, despite it being highly publicized that it was a mutual decision. Harry even explained how the term Megxit is a misogynistic term that was created by a troll, amplified by royal correspondence, and grew into mainstream media. Some may take it as a joke, but obviously Harry does not play about his wifey. Following their departure from the royal family, the couple took out several lawsuits against major news publishers. They sued the Daily Mail for the unauthorized publishing of a private letter Meghan wrote to her estranged father. For defamation, they took the Mail on Sunday to court and won when they published an article that alleged Harry had tried to keep secret details of his legal fight to reinstate his police protection. Harry and Meghan really said, mess around and find out. The power couple is not afraid to fight their own battles. Number 9, profiting off the family. Even though they aren't going to be making money as working members of the royal family, the couple has found other ways to collect their checks. Along with their highly controversial Netflix docuseries and the memoir Harry released, I have a feeling the couple has found their sweet spot when it comes to content the audience will pay for, and yep, you guessed it, it usually involves never heard before tea on the very private royal family. Their production company Archwell Productions signed the $100 million deal to make the Netflix series, as well as a $25 million deal with Spotify, where Meg hosts a podcast and discusses real-life issues with celebrities. Even though they were not paid for the interview they had done with Oprah, it cost the royal family their reputation. Meghan and Harry chose to expose the royals in this CBS special, where allegations of racism were brought up, unfair treatment towards Meg, and even how they were cut off financially by the royals after stepping back from their royal responsibilities. As juicy as the memoir is, Harry does not seem to hold back his distaste for the relation the royals have with the British media. Harry even insinuated that the relationship the royals have with the press has dictated a lot of kinds of attention and headlines they've had, calling them an extended arm of PR for over 30 years. We already knew how much Harry dislikes the paparazzi, especially after his mother's fatal car crash, so I guess there's no surprise that he decided to go in on the British media and their invasive tactics. But to be fair, I can't blame him for being annoyed with them. I can only imagine how tiring it is to have to be careful of how you live to avoid making headlines as often as they already do. Number 8, pregnancy scandals. Let's talk about all those times Meghan was just grilled for cradling her pregnant belly. Can we all agree that sometimes the internet is just a hot dumpster fire? People spent months criticizing Meghan for how often and when she touched her pregnant belly. We're not going to expand further on this because it's truly vile and unwarranted criticism that unfortunately came from women as much as it did from men. As so often happens with famous women, fans and trolls treat a celebrity's body as if it's their own. So when Meghan's pregnancy began to be more noticeable, a conspiracy theory that she was using a prosthetic belly gained traction online. Truthers used hashtags like #moonbump and #Megxit as a bat signal of sorts to spread the completely unfounded theory that Meghan and Harry were using a surrogate and hiding the whole thing from the public. Meghan even admitted no one was looking out for her. She broke the internet when she admitted in an interview while on tour that she was still really struggling to be under so much scrutiny as a new mom. Any woman, especially when they're pregnant, you're really vulnerable, and so that was made really challenging. And then when you have a newborn, you know, she told ITV's Tom Bradby, "Thank you for asking because not many people have asked if I'm okay." On to number 7, spare the memoir. This controversial memoir memoir that was released earlier this year has made quite a few people question Harry's intentions. Highly sensitive information about family members is included, which obviously had not been discussed with the family members before. Things such as William being circumcised or Camilla being a villain just sounds like something Harry wanted to say to alter the way people look at them. The memory does seem like a stab in the back to his family, and it most definitely is not a good look for Harry or even Meghan, who have come out more than once saying the family never supported them and how their staff was never looking out for them either. I'm not taking sides here, mostly because I don't even know them in real life, but I will say, if you're gonna cry rivers, at least stop doing the absolute most to try to make your own family look bad, because that makes you look bad too. But what do you guys think? Was it right for Harry to expose the family the way he has even before the publication of the memoir? Number 6, exposing the royals. Since the backlash from the interview didn't seem to do anything to Harry and Meg, it was followed by this tell-all docuseries that dives into the personal lives of the couple and their experiences at the royal castle, which they felt was mandatory to share with the rest of the world. And just to be clear, this caused just as much, if not more, backlash, with more people questioning why the couple keeps sharing all these personal stories after claiming they want to keep their personal lives away from the media attention. Many people have questioned if this couple decided to drop this Netflix miniseries to make extra cash, since it doesn't seem the royal inheritances is enough to keep their family stable. And what would be better than milking the story of the royal family and exposing them for money? Obviously, the royal family did not appreciate these attempts from the couple to bring them more attention while trying to give them a bad reputation. But to be fair, the couple themselves don't have the greatest rep among many people. It's all subjective. And then, of course, Harry targeted the British media and their attempts to exploit the royal family. During the 3rd episode of the series, Harry describes the role that royal correspondents, those who specialize in coverage and analysis of the royal family for newspapers and tabloids, play in the British media. They're an extended PR arm of the royal family. There's been an agreement that's been there for over 30 years, he claims. In the documentary, Harry says he was chased by paparazzi 30 or 40 times in his youth, particularly while attending school. He said the UK tabloid media believes the royal family is ours to exploit. Their trauma is our story and our narrative to control. During the opening episode, Harry says it's part of his royal responsibility as a member of the royal family to expose how the British tabloids operate. I feel as though being part of this family, it is my duty to uncover this exploitation and bribery that happens within our media. Well, you're not a working member of the royal family, Harry, and now it seems like you've joined the tabloids to exploit the royals too. Number 5, financial independence. The couple claims to have given up a lot to start a whole new life, but did they? So far, most things they have been doing involve the fact that they haven't given up some aspects of the life they were once living. For one, the title of Harry and Meghan's foundation caused some royal drama because they were told they were no longer allowed to use royal Sussexes. They eventually came to an agreement that the title will be revised after the spring of 2020. Other ways it just doesn't seem that the couple has let go completely is by the fact that they are profiting off the grief they experienced from the royals and sharing it with people in different forms, like the series, interviews, and even the new memoir Harry dropped, Spare, which focuses greatly on how he dealt with all the royal drama and his experience in many incidences throughout his life. Another way they just can't seem to let go is through the lies they make to create stories that bring them attention. Back to the series, which was just so outrageous, there are pictures showing them leaving the castle, which they claim was taken without their permission, which was later debunked by the photographer who said he had access and permission to take the picture. So awkward, because if you're gonna share an experience, the least you can do is give a truthful story with it. But what do you guys think? How long does this couple have before people become tired of this narrative, which doesn't seem to be the most credible? Number 4, Meghan exposing the in-laws. Now that Meghan Markle is no longer an official part of the royals, she's been dishing about Prince Harry's side of the family. What was life really like inside the palace? A little frosty, according to The American. Markle claimed there was a lack of warmth at royal family gatherings and finds all the standoffish behavior very odd. Her sister-in-law, Kate, is apparently the biggest culprit. As an American, Meg cannot wrap her head around the fact that no one hugs. Am I the only one who doesn't think it's that big a deal? Some people just don't like hugging. Even during the docuseries when Meg was talking about when Will and Kate came over, they weren't huggers, but that should be fine and not something to make a big deal out of, as I said before. According to her, it's obvious that Kate and William do not approve of their choices and that you could cut the tension with a knife. Number 3, after vocalizing concerns over needing privacy as a royal, many people seem to feel as if it was an unreasonable demand for Meghan, especially during all the controversies, all while including an inside look on their life as royals, which is to be featured with never ever before seen pictures of the family. Afterwards, Meghan tried to reiterate her feeling of needing privacy and how it is a basic human right. I agree, Meghan, it is a basic human right. She stated how she should be able to share parts of her life in her control, not in the media's control. Piers Morgan had more to say about docuseries trailer, Imagine bleeding about privacy than doing a kiss and tell reality series about your private lives. One thing Piers is going to be is the couple's #1 royal hater, but do you think it's justified? Number 2, a slice of the family drama. Where do I even begin? After Harry had a discussion with Will about Meghan, an argument was created, according to Spare, the new memoir where Will, future king, pushed Harry onto the floor. Prince Harry talks about the hierarchy in the video. He says, you know, there's leaking, but there's also planning of stories. No one knows the full truth. We know the full truth. I call that quote World War II because shots were fired. Moran wanted attention on the family with the show The Crown, based on stories from the royal family, is also receiving backlash on a storyline about the affair between Prince Philip and friend Penny Natchbull, which is believed to be insensitive following the passing of Queen Elizabeth. And finally on to number 1, cutting family ties. That time when they announced their departure, Meghan and Harry surprised the royal family. The bomb that Harry and Meghan dropped early in the new year reportedly caught everyone, including the late Queen, off guard. We have chosen to make a transition this year, blah 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 blah. We already know this quote. I say it many times in these videos, so anyway. Harry and the royal family began a series of discussions over the next few weeks about their new life as working royals, which would include paying their own security fees, achieving financial independence, and adhering to certain conduct standards out of concern for the Queen's reputation. Before a final week-long tour in February, Meghan and baby Archie resided in Canada, and since then the couple has settled in her home city of LA. Let me just say that Meghan Markle changed Harry from the most desirable royal bachelor in the world to a stay-at-home dad who enjoys long bike rides down Venice Beach in less than 2 years. They were confronted with everything their families, the media, and the general public had to offer, but Meghan was more powerful. And that is all for today's top 10. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.